Historically, people have always feared what they don't understand, scared of the other, whatever that might be, often feared, judged, and persecuted because of their religious and cultural differences. Immigrant communities are forced to flee their homes in search of a better life. But is this life really attainable? Can they persevere under what's stacked against them, or is this goal a meaningless cause?
More than 1 million Rohingya live in the mainland camps in southern Bangladesh, the vast majority having fled Myanmar in 2017 in a military-led crackdown the UN said was executed with genocidal intent.
The craving for religious freedom is trumped by the weight of societal oppression without fully taking into account the value of a human life.
And all the time the bloodshed goes on. As the new dominions of Pakistan and India take over their own affairs, fleeing from their looted, blood-stained towns comes a new exodus, 1 million displaced persons.
More resettlement, mass deportations, forced emigrations, war against subhumans, against Slavs, and against Jews.
Is there a future where we can see past the barriers we've put on our society and recognize that the other is just an extension of ourselves?
My name is Emily Berman, and I was born in the metropolitan Detroit area of Michigan. I am a Reformed Jew.
My name's Jordan Cohen. I was born in Israel, and I'm Jewish. When I was very young, 4 years old, my family moved to California.
My name is Sheila Gujarati. I'm an Indian American. My parents grew up and were born and raised in India, in Asia, and came here to the US in the 1960s, and I was born and raised in this country.
My name is Jose Ayala. So I'm originally born in LA, but when I was 2, I left to El Salvador, my parents.
Yes, I've been in situations where I've been fearful. I've been in situations where I really felt the anti-Semitism. I've been in interesting situations as a physician because I've, in my career, treated literally dozens of people with swastikas tattooed on their chest. So it becomes an interesting conundrum, my duty to treat versus, my repugnance for their political or white supremacist views.
We have a mezuzah hanging on our front door. It's a little piece of art. It's a little box with a prayer inside, and that shows this is a Jewish household. And I even get nervous about people who don't know us coming to our door and seeing that and targeting us as Jews.
When I was growing up as a young girl in this country in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't a lot of awareness for Indians and the Hindu religion. I think all people saw was a brown girl.
Our temple will meet up at the beach for service, and we have armed guards there as well, but I'm nervous because we're out in the open. We're singing songs in Hebrew, and you don't know who's around. And it's something I think about now, and I didn't as a kid. Because when I was a kid, there was still anti-Semitism, but there weren't people coming into temples and shooting people.
I was teaching in South Central Los Angeles. There was so much hatred, the rhetoric was so, with such hatred, right? That I didn't necessarily fear for myself, for obvious reasons, but I did fear for my students. Treating each other with respect, treating each other like family. And that's something that has been lost, right? I think for me, mainly just understanding that we all come from the same, right? We all believe in the same.
In Judaism, we believe in treating all people equal. All people should get what they need. All people should be treated fairly. We don't see ourselves as above or below anyone, that we're all in this together.
The challenges that I face in my life really, for me, are about leading me to further growth. So that's all within the framework of religion and spirituality. How do we become a better person? How do we become a more emotionally mature person? And ultimately, how do we become free of all the limitations that we think we have that are in our mind? And how do we lead with love and kindness and compassion Those are the things that give me meaning, give me purpose in my life, and I'm incredibly grateful to the spiritual teachings I've had and my religious practice that are the foundation for the way I live my life.
I think a lot of your path in religion as a human is really more based on your upbringing and what feels comfortable to you, the cultural values of the music, the holidays, the clothing. But ultimately, the core values in all religions are the same, which makes it even more ironic that people fight and kill each other over religion.
I've been scared a lot of my life. Fears and anxieties over what people will think of me swirl in my head. A strange glance at me seems like thousands of personal attacks against who I am. A tapestry of resentment over my upbringing. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong here. The weight of expectations is a large undertaking. Balancing the ramifications of leaving an old life behind while also trying to assimilate with a new crowd of people. My feelings mirror many immigrants who are forced to flee because of religious persecution. Scared of others' perceptions of their belief, they look to their own faith as a guiding light in a world which is plagued by darkness. It makes them feel less alienated in a new environment. If we see our differences in belief and culture with compassion, maybe we can finally live up to the promise of a free land.